Hi, I'm Xavier Murphy, founder of Jamaicans.com, and today in Jamaicans to the World, I talk to Ashagaye Mullings, a Jamaican living in Japan. Hi, Ashagaye, how are you?
Hi Xavier, I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, thanks for coming on board. I know the time difference between us and Japan was almost 12, 13 hours, depending on where you are.
Yeah,
So, thank you.
my pleasure.
So, So tell us a little bit about your background and where in Jamaica you're from.
Okay, so I was born in St. Thomas, Jamaica. I am from St. Thomas. I'm originally from this community called Seaforth. It's like a small community, and like I've grown up there all my life. I've never moved. The only time I moved when I was going to university. So I moved to Kingston for university, so I didn't have to travel back and forth to St. Thomas. So originally born and raised in St. Thomas, never really moved. But then at the latter part of high school, I went into Kingston for university.
All right. Now you have an extensive background. You barely touch on anything.
Right?
You're a pageant winner. In the media. Tell us about some of them things.
Okay, sure. So, growing up, I always loved pageants. So, there was this pageant called uh, there was this pageant called St. Thomas Festival Queen. So like you have these pageants in across Jamaica. It's spearheaded by JCDC. So growing up, I've always been going to St. Thomas Festival Queen and seeing the talent portrayed on the stage. I'm like, one day I want to be a part of this competition. So started with St. Thomas Festival, Miss Teen St. Thomas. I started with Miss Teen St. Thomas, but I wasn't successful. I was only in the top five, and I got Best Talent. And I decided, you know what, let me try Miss St. Thomas Festival Queen, the bigger pageant, when I'm more like mature and I have some more experience and knowledge. So said I tried it in 2019. It was COVID times, and I did so well in that competition. I copped almost all the sectional prizes except most boys, and then I moved on to nationals. So it was a great feeling, a great experience, like just being on the national stage, moving from St. Thomas. After pageantry, I also did Miss UTEC and I was placed in the top five. I did a lot of pageants, and I also did Miss Jamaica High School, and I was placed third in that pageant with like a lot of high schools across Jamaica, and I was third, and I was super happy because it was a big deal. And I also did Miss Morant Bay High School, and I came second. And the person who was supposed to represent at Miss Jamaica High School wasn't able to make it, so I went. So a lot of pageants, but the main one that I won was Miss St. Thomas Festival Queen. And then after that, no, after pageantry, I was like, I'm a Governor General ambassador. You're basically hands off the Governor General, right? Like doing projects across Jamaica. I did the youth parliament as well in about 20, I don't remember the year, but I did youth parliament and I was one of the main speakers. And I was like in the newspaper, on the radio, I was doing TV interviews. It was really, really good. So that's a little
So,
bit
so
about me.
that's a little bit about you. Oh man. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Asha Gay has an extensive background. She has also a platform where she broadcasts on, and that's how I actually was introduced to
Yeah.
her. Tell us about what you do in terms of that platform and give us the handles where people could find you.
Okay, sure. So in university, I studied communications and I majored in journalism. So I got this love, this passion for media when I went to university. I was doing documentaries, I was making video, doing my own radio program, TV program, writing news articles. So I fell in love with video editing. So right in my last year of university, I was in Miami for vacation, and I was like, how about starting a YouTube channel? So in 2019, the latter part of 2019, I started my YouTube channel, but I wasn't so consistent. But after a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm getting older. I want to document my life, right? So I started continuing doing YouTube. It wasn't so consistent. And then I dabbled into like creating reels on Instagram. But again, I was never consistent. People knew me to be creating reels and whatever, but I was never consistent. And then when I moved to Japan, I'm like, yeah, I need to like document every single moment of this because it's such a rich and unique experience. So I started like religiously uploading like twice a week, three times a week, and I started to like grow like rapidly. On TikTok, it's Media Girl Ash, YouTuber, and I'm at 10K on YouTube. On I wish on YouTube. On TikTok, I made it to 10K, and on Instagram, it's Media Girl Ash, and I also made it to 10K. YouTube, it's Media Girl Ash. I'm like 4K. So like I'm really like documenting my life. So like when I eventually leave Japan or move on, I can look back. I'm like creating
Okay.
memories. And I also write LinkedIn articles too. So like every
Nice.
form. Yeah.
So, folks, make sure you go check out Media Girl Ash and like, share, and share it to your friends. She's documenting her journey in Japan there. So, we're going to get into the
Yes.
Japan thing, right? So tell us the story or how you came to live in Japan.
Okay, this is crazy. So, I first learned about moving to Japan through a friend I met in university. So, right out of university, I was working in my family business. So, like my sister, she is a social entrepreneur, impact creator, and she has this business called Next Step Lifelong Educational Services. So, straight out of university, I had to work in that family business because she was moving away to the UK on Chevening scholarship. So she's like, I think you're like the best person to manage the business while I'm away. She ended up spending 2 years. It was supposed to be one. So I did the 2 years there and a couple months, but I wanted a change. I wanted to work in media, right? And then my friend at the same time said she was going to Japan, and I was like living through her, watching YouTube videos, and I started watching other YouTube videos. I'm like, yeah, working in my family business is great, but I would love to move to Japan. It looks so cool and so interesting. So I resigned from my family business and I applied to the JET program. So that's the Japan Exchange Teaching Program. And it's a long wait process. It's like 4 to 6 months wait process. I'm like, in that meantime, I need to find something else to do. So I applied to Yellow Media Group. They were hiring, like they were like revamping their whole media team, and I applied and I got through to Yellow Media Group. But I know I was shortlisted for Jet, but I didn't get an email to say I got a placement. So like them say you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So I went to Yellow Now for my orientation on the first day. Sitting in that orientation, I got an email, congratulations, you're moving on to Japan. So I'm like, what do I do now? Because I am in this orientation and I want to go to Japan, but I also want to gather some experience working in media, in marketing. So I went and I told my sister, and she's like, that's something you have to decide. And also, what I decided not to go. This was 2022. I decided not to go to Japan because I just got the job and I really wanted the job. It was like a dream job at that time. And the
Right.
second thing that solidified my decision, like not going, my mom ended up getting COVID. So it
Ooh.
was the bad COVID where she was on oxygen, moving from hospital. They like gave us like
Mm,
times like what are your words to her because she might not live, and she was
mm,
just recovering from that. And you know when I never see a parent sick before, and I lost my dad, so I was like, I cannot lose my mother, I cannot leave, I cannot go to Japan.
mm,
So that was the determining factor, and they gave me 12 days to reply, and I asked them if I could defer, and they said no. So I had to
mm,
like say goodbye to that. Then in 2023, I decided to apply to JET again, but I was kind of skeptical because I'm like, jet is so difficult to get in. Thousands of people apply and sometimes only 5 people get in. And I was like, maybe they won't accept me. So I apply again, and I got shortlisted to the interview process, because first you have to get to an interview process, you write an essay, get to the interview process, and then they will select you from the interview. After I did my interview, I didn't hear anything, and then I got an email saying you are an alternate jet, meaning I wouldn't be going to Japan. It's like worst case scenario, if anything happened, they will push you up and you go. So I was like really, really defeated. And
Mm,
at this time, I was laid off at Yellow. I got laid off at Yellow because of COVID, they weren't making enough revenue and stuff. So I was laid off. I only worked there for 9 months, but and then I was out of a job for 2 months. I decided to do makeup artistry like professionally because I always wanted to do it. And then at Yellow, because I was so good, even the human resource team was like seeking jobs for me. So one of the human resource person called, say, I have a friend who has this private company. They want a marketing officer. I applied for the job. I didn't hear anything, and then they put out a big calling, because the owner, she called me directly saying, will you be interested? And I'm saying yes. I didn't hear anything when I sent her my resume. Then they put out a big call, and I applied. I did the interview, it was very competitive, and I got through. So I was working at that company for 1 year and a couple months, but I was like, I still want to go to Japan. I still want to go. I still want to go. So I reapplied and stuff. And then I was an alternate jet. And then months later, I got a little email saying it shows that your passport needs to be renewed from EOJ. So I'm like, why is EOJ sending me this to renew my passport? Then I went ahead and I renewed my passport. And then I got a call from the Japan embassy in Jamaica saying, do you have a US visa? So I'm like, yeah, I have a US visa, and this is like 1 month before the jets will leave for Japan. So I'm like, what is happening? So they're calling, and she's like, another day she called, and she's like, would you be able to move to Japan within a month? And I'm like, within a month? So I was like, oh my God, I've been upgraded to like a jet now, because like it was, my cohort was 14 of us, right? And I got to go with the 14 people. I was able to attend the reception dinner. I was able to attend the send off. And it was because it was just so shocking, because I was like, I'm so defeated. I'm not going again. They write me off because they accepted it before, and I didn't take the opportunity. And a lot of people would die for this opportunity, because
right,
with Jet, they fund everything. They fund your plane fare, your hotel fee, everything. So it's such a good opportunity to move, and then you get that diplomatic experience through the jet program, versus if you just apply to teach in Japan. You're working with the Japanese government, you get invited to embassy events. So it's like a rich experience. I really if I was coming to Japan to teach, it would have to be through jet.
Fusion.
Yes,
Wow.
so it's a long trip, and it was hard.
Forward. So you got a third. It sounds a third chance, and
Yes,
you got it.
basically. Yeah, it was crazy. But I just think I was not supposed to be in Japan at that time, because I've heard so many horror stories and whatever. And my school, my community here, it's like godsend. Like
Nice.
it's just
So
amazing.
so what city are you in Japan?
Okay, I am in this prefecture called Tottori Prefecture. It's not a popular prefecture. It's like the countryside of Japan, but it's not countryside what we think, because of course it's a first world country, so it doesn't look and feel like a countryside area, but it's a countryside area, not popular. Tottori is actually a sister city of Westmoreland in Jamaica.
Oh, that's
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, so specifically, I'm in Yonago City, but I'm in Tottori Prefecture.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's not
So
popular at all.
so did you know anything about that city before going there?
No, so when you apply for JET, they say on the form, choose a few cities that you would like to go. So I chose Osaka, Yamaguchi. I didn't choose Tokyo because Tokyo would have been too busy for me. And I've heard too many horror stories. I've been in Tokyo, and they said countryside or suburb is better for you. You get a great balance there. So I didn't want to go into one of the big cities. However, you don't really get what you want. You get a placement based on the availability that opens up. So I got through. It was a sad situation why I came here. Somebody lost their parent and they had to go back, so the space opened up for me.
Mm.
So I came. Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought.
No,
Yeah,
you were saying you didn't get to pick. You
yes,
didn't get to pick
you don't get to
the city.
pick. You don't get
Right.
to pick. So I didn't when I got the email saying welcome, you're going to Tottori City, you're now go. I'm like, what is this? I've never heard of it. So I started like Googling and I wasn't finding anything really. And my predecessor, normally when you're leaving jet, the person who when you're going on jet, the person who is leaving, they kind of like prep you and stuff. So she sent me pictures, she told me about the city, if I'm gonna need a car, if I'm gonna need a bike and stuff like that. So that's when I started to hear and I started to look on pictures, but I wasn't finding anything really. So when I got in contact with the school, now they reached out to me doing Zoom calls. They were saying it's like really countryside. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm fretting. But they were so nice. I wasn't fretting on that part. I'm just fretting like, am I gonna be just like
Country.
locked up in my house?
Right.
But
Country and a country. Country
yes,
and a country.
and then I'm like, it's fine. I'm from the countryside in Jamaica. I'm used to the country, knowing that I really love the city too. Then when I landed in Tokyo and I met the Jamaican diplomats from the embassy, they're saying Tottori is nice, man. It nice. So I start they're kind of reassuring me and they say like, them are gonna love you down there, them are gonna love you. You're gonna be like a queen down there. And so said, so done. Like they're really nice. And then that's when I learned about the relationship between Westmoreland and Tottori. Cause like for the World Athletics happening in Tokyo this year in September, the athletes always train in Tottori before going to Tokyo. So they're actually coming next week. And
Wow.
they're gonna have
Wow.
Jamaican festival. They're gonna be doing autographs. Yeah, so there's a
Wow.
training
So
camp.
you're going to be busy kind of as a little ambassador there in the city
Yes,
for
because
Jamaica.
yeah, I did some work with them a few months ago. So like
Right.
I was they are gonna have like each athlete and so on, they're gonna have their own interpreters. So we did a training like to skim through the interpreters to test their English skills. So like I acted like the athletes and also like a coach. And I'm like, I lost my phone and they had to like translate and whatever. I was like, my knee's hurting, and like the coach is saying, is he gonna be able to run? So that was such a great experience. I would give them feedback, and there's also on Jet you have a ALT, assistant language teacher. So I'm a Jet instructor. I'm an ALT. You have a SEA, sports exchange advisor, and you have CIR. So you can work in a business or for the sports. You work doing sports stuff, and then you have teaching. So three things. But in Jamaica, only ALTs come from Jamaica because for CIR you have to be fluent in Japanese, and for the sports people you have to be like good sports people. We have a SEA from Jamaica that came up about a month ago. She's the
Oh
first
wow.
SEA. She's called Christine Day, and I don't know if you know her. And she's an Olympian, and she's now here in Tottori City. So I
Nice.
yeah, so she's the first SEA from Jamaica. She's so busy because she's an Olympian. She was even at the Osaka Expo. I was there too. Senator Kamina Johnson Smith was also there. I was able to meet her. So like yeah, like it. I'm so happy
You're,
that I'm in this city because it
yeah,
has
you're
a reputation.
everything lined up. Everything lined up. Everything lined up right. So let me ask you this. You had your friend, you were living this Japan kind of I want to go there dream through
Through her.
your friend that was there. First question, is your friend still there? And the second question is, what was so intriguing
Yeah.
about what about the whole thing?
Okay, so my friend is not here anymore. She wasn't on Jet. She went through like one of those independent ones. So she's not here anymore. She did only 1 year and a few months. So she left. So right when she left, I was like preparing to leave. So she's not here anymore. But what really piqued my interest was just how respectful the people are, how detailed they are. Like it's crazy how detailed they are, like, and they're so intentional. If they make something a certain way, it's for a reason. Like if you go to the convenience store and you get like a packet of ketchup, there's a certain way how you flip it, and the mustard and the ketchup comes out at the same time. Like everything
Mm,
is so intentional here. And
well planned out.
well, like to the T. Like it's just so amazing. Really, really amazing.
So,
Yeah.
so your friend move on to another country, or she went back to Jamaica?
She went back to Jamaica for a while, but now
Okay.
she's in the US working for a period
Okay.
of time.
Okay, I see. I see.
Yeah.
So let's talk about work life balance. How do you find that work life balance there in Japan?
Okay, so for me and for foreigners, I think it is easier for us versus like a person who's like a Japanese national. So like I'm in the education sector and the teachers here, they work really hard. Like work for me starts at 8:30 and I leave at 4:30. For them it starts at 8:30 to 5, right? But sometimes we're expected to be there before. So I normally get to work at 8 o'clock. You know, Japanese like the UK, if you ever reach 8:20, it's like you're late. Cause one time I went there like 8:20 and everybody's looking at me like you're late today, like in a jokingly way. But because I'm always early, right? I'm not like those Jamaicans who ever late, but always early. So it was easy for me to adjust. But I think the work life balance is crazy. During exam time, the teachers are leaving work at 2 a.m. and then they're back at 8 o'clock and even before 8. But for me, it's not like that. I only stay back like if we're doing recording exams and no student can be on campus when we're doing those exams for like, privacy reasons, like we record,
Right,
so no
right.
student can hear. And I do get paid for that, or I can leave and go home the next day early. But for me, it's my workload is not too pressuring. If I don't have classes, I can sit at my desk, I can read, I can study, and I can walk around, I can watch PE classes, I can watch cooking classes. So you have a lot of time on your hands.
Right,
Not
right.
pressuring because you are,
Okay, so it
yeah, you're just an English teacher, really, and you're
sounds
assisting.
like a good you have a good balance. You have
Yeah,
a good balance
I have a
going
good
on.
balance, and my school is a
Right.
private school, so it's a little different from like the public schools here.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
have a group of friends that you have made there that you kind of, you know, hang with, or that's still developing?
I don't really have a group of friends, it's more like a community. But there's one other Jamaican here who I hang out with from time to time who has been here 2 years on the JET program. I've never met them before. I only met them when I was here. And I've also met a South African who I do things with from time to time. So on JET, you have people from South Africa, Jamaica, Philippines, US, Canada. So all of the Jet LTs here, we have like a line group and we communicate and we have seasonal events. But I don't have like a community per se, or a group of friends. Well, that's my community, but I don't have like friends. I have like this
Okay.
one Japanese friend who I met. So her husband was going to a Japanese class. I was going because it's not a
Mm,
Japanese. And he's like, my wife, she's Japanese and she'd really want jerk chicken recipe. So I Googled one and he's like, message her on WhatsApp. And then we started messaging on WhatsApp and then we started hanging out. She invited me to her house. Her mother cooked for me. She cooked something called shabu shabu. It was like, it's like a thing where you like make soup on a little hot plate and add vegetables and beef and noodles and all type of stuff. So I really don't have friends per se, but I have a community who I can do activities with.
okay. All right. That's all. You talk about food. What's your favorite Japanese food?
Okay, so I my favorite Japanese food right now is karage. So like I pronounce words with R like L because in Japanese there is no R sound. So everything
Okay.
with R there's a L. So it's karage, but their pronunciation is karage. It's basically deep fried chicken. So when I was just coming to Japan, I had orientations and stuff, and I had to choose my food from Jamaica. So I was not able to see the food. So I'm like karage, and I was scanning through the menu, and when I looked, it's like deep fried chicken. I'm like, this must be close to something that I would be used to. So I like that. And I also like something called yakisoba. It's like fried noodles with like either shrimp, pork, or chicken. I'm not into
Okay.
sushi. I'm not into sashimi. Sashimi is like raw fish. Um, I'm not really into the Japanese food like that, so I make most of my meals.
I was about to ask you about that. And what are the meals you're making? Because do you bring your Jamaican supply? Somebody sneak them in, or you know, what are you?
So, before I came here, I bought a lot of seasonings. I had a lot of seasoning for almost 1 year, but those depleted. Then my mom sent me some the other day, but those finished too. But when I went to Tokyo the other day, I went to the Jamaican embassy there, and they gave me like a bottle of Jamaican jerk seasoning. So right now I basically don't have seasoning, so it's been rough. So right now I'm trying to figure out a way how to get seasoning right now. But I normally make my curry chicken, my stew chicken, because my mom sent me browning, and I have
Okay.
packs of better pack curry. But right now I don't have like the all purpose and the Maggi seasoning, and I really want it. Like really, 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 really want some Jamaican food.
Anybody who go into Japan, before you contact Media Girl Ash, if you're planning to contact her, you know what you have to bring if you're going to contact her.
Maggi seasoning. And I also went to like this Jamaican restaurant in Tokyo called One Love the other day, and the food tastes so good. You know when somebody cook Jamaican food and it's like a knockoff? That food
Right.
is so good. He's Jamaican, by the
Right.
way. The food is so good. I'm gonna be on a flight soon just to go back because I live very far from Tokyo. If I fly is Yes, if I fly is 1 hour and 30 minutes. If I should take train, it's gonna take like 9 hours, and I have to connect through several trains, and the night bus is like 12 hours. I'm like really far. So like if I fly, the money will work out to take in several trains. So I'm like it's easier to fly. Like I'm literally next to South Korea. If I should fly to South Korea now, it's like 45 minutes.
Oh, so it's quicker then.
It's quicker. I'm closer to South Korea than Tokyo. It's
You talked about cost and whatever. What's the cost of living like in where you are?
Okay, so you know the cost of living will vary depending on if you're like in the city and whatever. So for me, the cost of living is pretty affordable. It's manageable. When I came here and I started getting like, cause it's the first time I'm on my own in Jamaica. I don't pay bills. I don't do anything because I live with my mom. Even though I'm working, the only thing I paid in Jamaica was my internet bill, and that was like 5,000. So when I came here, I started paying my own bills, and because for the season they're using AC, you're using heater and whatever, because in summer is not it. The summer here is so hot, like really, really hot. And when I came here, it was summer. My first light bill was 2,800. My light bill have never reached 4,000 yen. Yen is like 1 to 1 with Jamaica, so it's pretty much the same. So my light
Mm,
bill is pretty cheap, like 3,000. My water bill is every 2 months, and it's like 4,000. My gas
okay.
bill is the highest. It's like 4 5, and that includes cooking and like hot water. So it's pretty affordable. There's a cheap supermarket next to me called Lamu, pretty affordable. So it's pretty affordable if you don't have bills to pay or like a
Right.
commitment back home. It's pretty affordable. Yeah.
What about from medical? Your program covers it. Have and how is your experience? Dealing with healthcare, if you have any, if you
Okay.
have any there.
So on Jet, everything is dealt with for you, like before coming here, hence why the process for Jet takes so long. So like by the time you get to Japan, within 2 weeks, they're like issuing your health insurance to you. So they take like a little monthly payment from your salary. And when you go to the doctor, you present that little health insurance card. And like I've been to the doctor, so like everything was in place for you. When you come here, you get like
Okay,
physical copies, so you don't have to go through the
right.
rigors of like going and applying for physical.
Apply and go
Yes.
through all of that and so
Hence,
forth.
hence why I
Okay.
said Jet is like just ideal. So so now
Everything taken care of.
everything is taken care of. I had to go to the doctor before during winter for the first time. I got chilblains. So I was wearing gloves and everything, and I've never experienced like a real winter before. So it was my first time. My fingers were like bloodshotting. It was itchy, and my mom is saying be careful because like she's like been away long in winter and all that a lot of time. She's like sometimes I have to put like a lot of socks and then put on gloves, and she's like careful because you can lose your finger. People saying you can lose your finger because it was getting bad, and I had to be soaking my hand in hot water at nights, and it was awful. It was unbearable. So I went to work. Thankfully, two of my supervisors, they're fluent in English, and I'm explaining, I'm showing them. They brought me to the doctor, and the doctor checked it out, and they gave me a steroid ointment for it to like calm it down and get rid of the blood shots. And it was pretty good dealing with them. Most of the doctors here knows a little bit of English, plus I had my
Okay.
supervisor there to translate for me as well. She's like God sent. I love her so much. And then um the cost, it was pretty affordable for,
Okay.
yeah, the medication
Okay.
was like $1,500.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
So
like it is dirt cheap to go to the doctor here.
let
And
me go ahead and finish. Go
yeah,
ahead.
and like most of the doctors, and I also went to doctor for my eyes again, winter. During winter, my left eye was just running water constantly. So I had to get eye drops for my eye. That doctor never really speak a lot of English, and I know like basic Japanese stuff, so that also helps. So yeah, it's good encounter so far.
All right. So you're out in the country, as they call it, which is not really the country,
Yeah.
right? But what do you know? You're here. How do you manage? Have you found someone that can be here, or are you taking care of your here, or you know, tell us about that experience.
Okay, so here, that's a difficult topic because we have black people here. And like I am in the countryside, so I'm like the only black person here. So like everywhere I go, people are intrigued. So I'm not in one of those popular cities where there's a lot of black people. So there is nowhere for me to go to get my hair done. There are no braiders here. You have like braiders like from Africa and Jamaica, but they're in the bigger cities. So I have to do everything for myself. But when I was coming here, I got some braids and I kept them as long as I could. And then I started like doing my own hair ever since. Like I'm like a DIY girly right now. I do my
So,
own
so
hair.
wait. Stop. YouTube. You went to YouTube to learn it, or somebody
Yes.
was teaching you?
Nobody taught me. First, I was just doing it based on little knowledge I had. And recently I'm doing YouTube now because I want to get into like braiding my hair myself. So like I did a video where I braided my hair myself. And everyone really reacted to it in a good way, and I'm planning to try another style right now. So like I'm like binge watching a lot of videos so I can get the technique right. But there are
So
no products here for black people. So like there's no like braiding gel, there's no edge control. So all of those from Jamaica finish now, and I'm trying to find them online through Amazon US, but they're overpriced
oh,
because we have Amazon
oh,
JP, and JP
right,
doesn't
right.
have everything. So I'm just like
Mm,
learning and just doing everything myself.
well, you may be the person that people in the in that city come to at some point in time.
Yeah, I'm out here doing everything for myself. Like it's crazy. Like I never imagined.
So, what do you love doing with your time off, your weekend, your holiday? you know, tell us. You do is exploring, shop, whatever it is, what you love doing.
Okay, so first of all, when I just came here, I was biking a lot because like they have a big biking culture here. Everybody bike, kids bike to school, people bike to the supermarket. So my predecessor, she left a new brand bike here, so I was biking around to get used to the city. So I enjoyed doing early morning bikes and evening bikes to watch the sunset. After a while, I stopped biking because I eventually got a car and I started driving to places that I've biked to because I have like known the city now. But other than that, I look forward to seasonal events. So Japan, we experience the four seasons like in its fullest or highest form. So in summer we have a lot of summer festivals. Although it is so hot, you feel like you're walking in an oven. It's so humid and muggy, but we have a lot of summer festivals. And during spring we have the cherry blossom, so we do a lot of cherry blossom viewing. And in winter we do snowboarding. So I did
Oh,
that for
you're gone snowboarding?
yes, I did snowboarding,
Oh,
and during
wow.
autumn I went hiking. So, like the community of ALTs here, for every season we have an event. So right now I'm going to my last summer event later today up in the mountain. We're gonna do
Uh-huh.
fireworks and camping and stuff like that. So I look forward to the seasonal events. There's always something to do.
Nice, nice. Yeah, the
Yeah.
cherry blossoms there are amazing.
Amazing. And you know what? I didn't know that. I thought cherry blossom was only pink, but the ones in my area, they're white.
Oh, nice.
They're white. So
Nice.
I was like, oh my God, they're so white. And then my supervisor brought me to her hometown. And like the
Right.
cherry blossom like came over like this. It was absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah. When I visited Japan, I chose the season, that
Yes.
season to specifically come because I wanted to see
It's a
it.
short window though, so you have to be careful when you're booking that trip. And if it rains, the cherry blossom will die. So it's like a,
Yeah.
a quick 2 week, 3 week period of the cherry
I was
blossoms.
fortunate. I was very fortunate to experience it. So So tell me, what advice would you give to a Jamaican who is thinking of coming either to Japan or another country to go teach or just experience it? What advice do you have?
Do extensive research like so like everything you can think of. Do extensive research, watch videos. Some people say, oh, I'm not watching videos because I don't want to see or whatever. Watch videos, do extensive research, read blogs, listen to podcasts. Before coming to Japan, I listened to podcasts, YouTube videos, read articles. Like I was delving into a lot of things, so like I know what I was coming into. I wasn't stepping into the situation blindly. Also, wherever country you're going, if their first language is not English, you must be willing to learn that language because the cultural barrier is real. And that is something that I never really delved into until I got here. I was just practicing like my basic Japanese right before coming to Japan. It was helpful, but looking back at my pronunciation, it was horrible, and I'm ashamed. Listening back to some of those stuff right now. Also, you must be able to adapt and conform because Japan is not like Jamaica. People are more reserved. Like if I wear a sleeveless outside, people are looking at me weird. So you have to know like the cultural norms, the values, and all of that. No jaywalking, running across the road, even if a car is not coming. So learn about like the cultural differences in Japan. There's a lot of bowing. That is something. Bowing is like a reflex for me right now. So you just have to just like do extensive research on the country, blogs if you're a visual person, read and consume
Well,
a lot of content of about that country before coming.
all right. Let me ask you this. Did you find that regionally there are any differences in terms of the way the folks in Tokyo speak to where you are? Do you find any language different? It's slight. I'm not saying it's major, but
Yes.
any of that?
Yes. So for example, Tokyo is at the major city. So of course they speak a specific way, but for me, I hadn't heard any major difference. It's just like having conversations with people. For example, one of my JTE at school, Japanese teacher of English, she told me that in Osaka, when they're saying thank you, they say okini. If a Japanese person is watching, don't mind me and my pronunciation. It's called okini. And then in Yonago, where I'm at, to say thank you, you say dam dam or something like that. When you how to say thank you is really arigato gozaimasu or arigato gozaimasu. But I think if you say that everywhere, people will understand. But I think for each prefecture or city, they have their
Right.
own dialect. But I've never
Right.
heard
Right.
it. It's just like having conversations with people. They will say, no, in Osaka, we say thank you, saying okini or something. But I
I
never heard
see.
it. Yeah.
I see. Well, listen, Asha Gates, thank you for spending some time telling us your story about moving and living in Japan and the
Yeah.
experience. I'm going to close it with a language one.
Yes.
How would you say in your area of Japan, goodbye in the most informal way? Teach me how to say it.
I've never heard of the informal goodbye, but it's pretty simple. Like the general goodbye is sayonara,
Say,
sayonara.
sayo.
So it's Nara, but again, the L sound, the
Oh,
R is
sayonara.
sayonara.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
sayonara. But it's like sayonara. And then you have Jane,
Jane.
and then
Uh-huh.
you have bye bye. They also say bye bye.
All right. I like what's it the
Jane,
Jane. Is
Jane.
that informal? Jane is
It's like
informal?
see you.
Okay.
And then
All
you
right.
say sayonara if you're not, it's like a final
Formal.
goodbye. So like I'm not gonna see you anytime soon right now. I'm not gonna talk to you
Oh,
anytime now. So I'm like sayonara is like a final goodbye. So
okay.
you don't use it with people who you're gonna see tomorrow or
Right.
yeah.
You use Jane.
Jane, yeah. Or bye bye.
Jane. Okay. All right. Bye bye,
Bye
Jane.
bye. Yeah.